Good morning. This is your media report for Monday, February the 15th, 2016. I'm Sergeant Lori McGee, Media Relations Officer for the St. John Police Force. Since Friday morning, February 12th, until today's date, police have responded to 385 calls for service. We would like to hear from anyone that has any information concerning any of our calls or investigations. We can be reached at 506-648-3333, at our email, police@stjohn.ca, or you can do it anonymously through the Provincial Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-8477 or on their website at crimemb.ca. On Friday, February 12th at 12:25 p.m., police were called to a McKeel Street residence for a report of a court order violation. The caller reports that she and her son were arguing and he left the residence while on a court order of a house arrest. The 17-year-old male was arrested and taken into custody. He was held for a court appearance. At 12:47 p.m., police were called to Harborview High for a report of two students in possession of drugs and drug paraphernalia. A 15-year-old male was arrested for possession of marijuana, while another 15-year-old male was arrested for possession for the purpose to traffic in marijuana. Both males were released to appear in court at a later date. On Friday evening at 6:53 p.m., police were called to an Elderslie Avenue residence for a report of a break-and-enter into a downstairs apartment. Entry was gained by kicking in a door sometime through the day. Electronics, jewelry, and footwear were reported stolen. Identification services attended the scene, and the incident remains under investigation. At 9:35 p.m., police were called to Bayer Drive for a report of a car prowl into a vehicle parked in the parking lot behind St. Joseph's Hospital. The caller reports her vehicle was gone through sometime during the day. Nothing of value appeared to be missing. At 11:20 p.m., police were called to King Street for a report of a theft from a vehicle. The caller reports the theft of vehicle documents and loose change. At 11:47 p.m., police were called to a Dorothea Drive residence for a report of an assault. A 20-year-old female was arrested for an assault with a weapon when she struck her boyfriend in the head with a picture frame during a dispute. He received a small cut to his head but did not require medical attention. She was released on conditions to appear in court at a later date. At 12:46 a.m., police stopped a motor vehicle on Grandview Avenue, which resulted in the arrest of a 24-year-old male for impaired driving. He was later released to appear in court at a later date. At 2:11 a.m., an officer observed a vehicle swerving as it traveled along Highway No. 1, taking the exit to the Wall Street overpass. The vehicle was stopped, and the 36-year-old male operator was arrested for impaired driving. He was later released to appear in court at a later date. At 3:08 a.m., police were waved down by a female on Adelaide Street who was intoxicated and advised that she and her boyfriend had been fighting. She was arrested for a breach of the peace and later released. At 3:42 a.m., police were called to the Union Street for a report of extensive damage to parking meters in the area of the Iceberg Pub. A member of the Parking Commission discovered the damage and contacted police. The incident remains under investigation. On Saturday morning at 7:40 a.m., police received a third-party call to a Courtney Avenue residence for a report of a domestic. A 42-year-old man was arrested after it was reported that he threw his girlfriend down a flight of stairs. The victim was transported to the regional hospital where she was treated and released. The accused was later released on conditions to appear in court at a later date. At 11:44 a.m., police were called to the provincial jail for a report of an assault. One inmate alleged he was assaulted by another inmate, and the incident remains under investigation. On Saturday evening at 10:19 p.m., police received a call from security at the City Hall building Pedway concerning an uncooperative intoxicated male. The accused, aged 31, was on a probation order to abstain from alcohol and was subsequently arrested for probation violation. He was later released to appear in court at a later date. At 11:54 p.m., police received a call from a female on Germain Street advising that someone was banging on her windows and her door. A 34-year-old male was arrested for a breach of the peace after a second call to that location. He resisted arrest and kicked an officer in the leg, resulting in another charge of assaulting a police officer. He was later released to appear in court at a later date. At 3:30 a.m., police received a call to the lower end of Main Street North for a possible medical assistance. It was reported that a car was partially parked in a driveway and the operator appeared unresponsive. A 22-year-old female displayed signs of impairment, and she was subsequently arrested for impaired driving. She was later released to appear in court at a later date. At 4:31 a.m., police were patrolling the area of Woodward Avenue when an officer came across a vehicle parked along the side of the road. It appeared to have been left running until the officer checked and discovered the male operator slumped inside on the driver's side of the vehicle. During the conversation with the accused, it was determined he was impaired, but the accused refused to unlock his car doors. Eventually, the officer had to break a window to remove the accused, who was less than cooperative. 21-year-old male was arrested for impaired driving and obstruction. He was later released to appear in court at a later date. On Sunday at 12:20 p.m., police were called to a Guilford Street residence for a report of a domestic. The female caller reported that she was struck in the face. A 30-year-old male was arrested for assault. The female sustained very minor injuries, and the accused was later released on conditions to appear in court at a later date. On Sunday evening at 9:05 p.m., police were called to a Curvin Road residence for a report of a youth violating her court order. The caller reports that her 13-year-old daughter was not in the residence at the time specified on her court order. At 10:18 p.m., police were on Rossley Avenue en route to check an address for the youth when they observed a male and a female walking toward the uptown area. They decided to check the two and learned that the male, age 17, was on an undertaking with a curfew as well as a no contact with the female he was with. He was arrested for violation of his undertaking. The female was checked and found to be the girl the police were looking for from the previous call to Curvin Road. A 13-year-old female was arrested for violation of her court order. Both were held in custody for a court appearance. This will conclude the media report for Monday, February the 15th. Have a good day and be safe.